In CITL 001 course, the third unit deals with word processing. Office automation is becoming necessary nowadays. So, many office automation softwares are evolved. One among that is MS Office. In MS Office, we have the word processing tool is MS Word. So, this unit focuses on MS Word. Before we get into details, let us first know what is word processing and what is a word processor. Performing different editing and formatting options on a text is known as word processing. Whereas a word processor is a computer program used to create and print text documents that might otherwise be prepared on a typewriter. The key advantage of a word processor is its ability to make changes easily, such as correcting spellings, adding, deleting, formatting, and relocating text. Once created, the document can be printed quickly and accurately and saved for later modifications. The MS Word can be used for the following purposes. To create business documents having various graphics including pictures, charts and diagrams. To store and reuse ready-made content and formatted elements such as cover pages and sidebars. To create letters and letterheads of personal and business purpose. To design different documents such as resumes or invitation cards, etc. To create a range of correspondence from a simple office memo to legal copies and reference documents. Now let us see how to work with MS Word. To work with MS Word, first we need to start the program. Let us see how to start the program. To open the Microsoft Word application, you can double click on the Microsoft Word icon which is present on the desktop. If the icon is not present on the desktop, you can open the Word from Start menu by clicking the Start and choosing the Programs option. From that, Microsoft Office, and within that Microsoft Word. When a Word opens, a blank document with the name Document 1 will appear on the screen. The Microsoft Word window contains several menus and toolbars. These menus and toolbars are used to give instructions about what you want to do. Some of these we'll discuss now. The first one is menu bar. A menu gives a list of commands. Most menus are located on the menu bar at the top of the application as given Word window. This menu contains drop menus which allows the user to access all of Microsoft Word's functions. The function can be accessed using either the mouse or the keyboard button. The next one is toolbars. In this, there are basically two toolbars are used, standard toolbar and formatting toolbar. The standard toolbar contains icons which allow the user to perform common tasks such as save, print, copy and paste, etc. Whereas the formatting toolbar contains icons which performs variety of formatting options such as changing fonts and font size, choosing headings, justifying text, modifying text colors, etc. These icons are present in the formatting toolbar. The next one is the drawing toolbar. This toolbar allows the user to draw and edit objects in a document. The last one is the status toolbar, which is important. This displays the important information about the document to the user relating to page number, location of insertion point on the page, etc. The other information is also available on the status board, that is overtyped text or replace existing the characters when typing, etc. Now let us see how to create a document in MS Word. We can create a new document by using the File option in the menu bar. Choose File New from the menu bar. A new dialog box appears on the screen. Confirm that the General tab is selected and the blank document icon is highlighted. Now click on OK. A new document window will appear on the screen. Next, suppose if you have already created a document and saved, and now if you want to open that particular document, that can be done by choosing the File option in the menu and choose the Open from that file menu. Now the document is opened on the screen. The next one is how to save and close the documents. Once a document is prepared, it needs to be saved for the future use. To save a document, in the menu bar, choose the File option and click on the Save button. Now the document requires to give a name. So it prompts for the name. Now type the name and then click on OK. Then to close the document, the same way you can select the File menu and choose the Close option to just close the opened Word file, or you can choose the file and exit to come out of the Word. As you have seen how to create a document, now we'll move on to editing and formatting the document. The text can be entered into a document with the help of the keyboard. Now to delete, select and format the text. So for deleting the text, you can use the backspace and delete keys. Backspace will be deleted the text at the left of the cursor, and the delete will erase the text to the right. Now you can use the formatting toolbar for formatting the text in a document. The formatting toolbar contains different tools like style. You can select different styles of text on the document. Font, click the arrowhead to the right of the font type box to view the list of fonts available. Select the one which you want. And font size, you can select the size of the font by selecting the number available in the list. Font style, you can use the buttons to bold, italic and underline the text. Alignment, you can give alignment in text to the left, right or center on the page. The next one is numbers and bulleted list. This is used to give the numbering or bullets in the text headings or subheadings. And we can also add a border around the text selected. And you have another option, highlight color, which is used to change the color behind the text. The next one is the text color. This is used to change the color of the text, whereas the highlighted color changes the background color of the text, but the text color changes the font color. The next one is how to cut, copy and paste. There are two editing functions that can be performed using cut. One is cut and paste. This is used to move a piece of text in a document. Use copy and paste to duplicate a piece of text in a document. So, cut and paste is used for moving the text, whereas copy and paste is used to create a duplicate copy of the text what you want. Another important option in the Word is page setup. Once a document is prepared, before you take a print, we need to set the paper size and page orientation. The paper size and the page orientation and also the margins, page margins, that is available in the page setup option. In the page setup, we'll get the options in the menu like margins, paper size, paper source and the layout. The paper size tab in the page setup dialog box can be used for selecting the paper size and the options that are available depending on the capabilities of the printer you have selected. We can also select the customized paper size. So once you specify the size of the paper, you can also select the page orientation. This can be portrait, that is vertical, or landscape, that is horizontal. Once the orientation and paper size is set, so next we can move on to the page margins. Margins determine the distance between the text and the page of the paper. In Word, text and graphics are normally printed inside the margins, while header and footers and page numbers are printed in the margins. Word gives you 3 ways to set the margins. So that is, the margin portion of the page setup dialog box can be selected from the file menu and the page setup command, and choose it and select the required page size. So this can be done by using the page setup. The next, we are needed to print the documents. Once the document is ready, the print option can be chosen from the file menu. Select the file menu and choose the print option. You can select the printer name available in your system, and then you can choose the page which you want to print or the range of pages, or else you can select all pages to be printed. This is the way you can print a document once you select the printer. The next comes the paragraph options. So in this paragraph options, so you have indents and spacing, and then line and page breaks. That is, if you want to give the spacing between the lines, that is nothing but the line spacing, you can, and at the same time you can also adjust the starting of the paragraph from which portion you want to start. So that can also be adjusted by using the paragraph format. And the paragraph can also be centered, right aligned or left aligned, or else justified. In this unit, the last but very important topic is mail merge. Mail merge is a feature within most data processing applications that enables users to send a similar letter or document to multiple recipients. It enables connecting a single form template with a data source that contains information about the recipient's name, address, and other predefined and supported data. Word's mail merge feature is a quick and easy way of mass producing form letters, envelopes, mailing labels, phone lists, etc. Mail merge primarily enables automating the process of sending bulk mail to customers, subscribers, or general individuals. Mail merge works when a data file is stored that includes the information of the recipients to whom the letter is to be sent. This file can be a spreadsheet or a database file containing separate fields for each different type of information to be merged within the letter. The second file in the Word document is the Word document or the letter template. The recipient's information on the letter template is kept empty. When the mail merge process is initiated, the recipient's data from spreadsheet or database is fetched and placed within the empty field in the letter one by one until all letters are created. Now I'll explain the steps of creating a mail merge in modern versions of Microsoft Word. First, in a blank Microsoft Word document, click on the Mailing tab and in the Start Mail Merge group, click Start Mail. The second step, click Step by Step Mail Merge wizard. Next, select your document type. You can select either letter, email message, envelopes, labels, or dictionaries. Select the starting document in the next step. In this, we can select a blank document or use the current document and then click next and then select the recipients. In the select recipients, you can type a new list or you can select the existing list. So let us see how to create a new list. By clicking the create button, new address list dialog box is selected and click OK. Save the list after typing the required details. So we need to note that a list has been created. The mail merge wizard converts to use an existing list and you have the option to edit the recipient list also. In the next step, select the edit recipient list. Then it opens up mail merge recipients dialog box where you can edit the list. That means we can change the list contents. So click next and write the letter what you want to send. Next, write the letter and add custom fields. Here we can add the address block to add the recipients. This is the addresses at the top of the document. Next, insert address block dialog box appears. Check or uncheck boxes and select options on the left until the address appears the way how you want. So the required fields can be selected from here, which you want to present in your letter. Then press enter on your keyboard and click greeting line to enable a greeting. So you can have any text as a greeting line. In the Insert Greeting Line dialog box, choose the greeting line format by clicking the drop down arrow and selecting the options of your choice and then click OK. Note that the address block and greeting line are surrounded by the less than and greater than symbols. Write a short letter and click next. Preview your letters. Preview your letter and click next. Complete the merge. So click print to print the letters. Edit individual letters to further personalize some or all of the letters.